Have you ever noticed that the world around us is just too perfect? The laws of physics operate like flawless lines of code, and the speed of light suspiciously resembles a server bandwidth limit. Today, we aren't going to guess whether we live in a matrix. We're going to search for the bugs that the developers forgot to hide. I will show you why serious scientists, like theoretical physicist James Gates, find fragments of computer code in the fundamental equations of the universe, and how your own brain optimizes reality so that you don't see what is hidden behind it. Let's start with the basics. When you play a video game, the computer doesn't render the entire world at once. That would be a total waste of resources. The processor creates only what you are looking at right now. This is called optimization. In the early 20th century, physicists faced something terrifying. Our universe works exactly the same way. The famous double-slit experiment showed that an electron behaves like a wave of probability until someone starts observing it. As soon as you set up a detector, it collapses into a particle. The world literally loads the moment someone looks at it. Without an observer, reality turns into pure mathematics. But if the system saves resources on rendering, it means it has a power limit. Look at the number pi. It is infinite, and scientists have been calculating trillions of its digits for years. Why? In computer graphics, there is a concept of resolution. If you zoom in too much on an image, a circle turns into a set of pixels. The infinity of pi is a sign that the space beneath us is not smooth. It consists of tiny squares, the so-called Planck lengths. Our universe has a finite resolution. This is also confirmed by absolute zero. Why is it impossible to cool matter infinitely? Because it is the lower limit of system values. A zero in the code, beyond which data simply does not exist. But the strangest bugs don't happen in laboratories, but in our memory. The Mandela effect, when millions of people remember historical details that never existed in this version of reality. Skeptics will call it false memories, but simulation theory supporters see it as a hot patch. When developers update the code of the universe in real time, some users are left with cached data from the old version. And if you think this code is somewhere far away in space, you are wrong. It is right there under your skin. 1 gram of DNA is capable of storing 215 million gigabytes of data. It is the densest information carrier in the universe. The entire internet could be packed into a shoebox filled with DNA strands. In 2003, after decoding the human genome, scientists saw not just chemistry, but a digital code with headers, stop signals, and copy-paste functions. Moreover, 98% of our genome was long considered junk. In programming, there is a similar term, commented out code. These are lines that don't work in the current version, but are left by the dev. We literally carry archives of old versions of life within us. Even viruses act like hacker scripts. They inject their code into your cell, hacking its system. Nature is lazy and loves to copy successful solutions. Mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot proved that the same formulas repeat at all levels, from a tree leaf to the shape of galaxies. Why write new code if the old fractal algorithm works perfectly? We have come to the main question. If there is code, then who is the player? Scientists have spent decades looking for a soul in the brain, but it's not there. Perhaps because the brain is not a processor, but an antenna. Our dreams are a perfect example of a test server, a place where developers disable complex calculations of gravity and friction, allowing the consciousness to rest from the rigid rules of the system. There we see reality without physics patches. And if death is not the end of a file, but logging out of a session, then the theory of quantum immortality begins to make sense. Consciousness simply switches to another available server. But do we control anything at all? Neuroscientist Benjamin Libet proved, the brain makes a decision half a second before you realize it. You are not the driver. You are a passenger who is given a toy steering wheel while the system follows an algorithm. If everything around us is code, does it mean your life has no meaning? Quite the opposite. We are the universe's way of knowing itself, a code that learned to feel, to love, and to ask questions. Even if the lights are turned off on this server tomorrow, the fact that you were here and realized the rules of this game makes you something more than a set of zeros and ones. You are not a bug in the system. You are its purpose.